I did this maybe a month ago, but I'm going to be predicting the rest of the AFL ladder absolutely uncut. Now, my general prediction is Sydney, Geelong, Port Adelaide, Collingwood, GWS, Melbourne. I don't think Essendon make it. I don't think Gold Coast make it. I think Carlton still scrape in. It's probably a fight between Adelaide, Brisbane, Fremantle, Gold Coast, and Essendon for that final place. But let's predict the games and let's see what happens. Round 11, the Dogs take on Sydney. I think the Dogs are such a weird team and Sydney are just in form. Fremantle against Collingwood. This is going to be a really interesting game because Fremantle are so defensively astute and I do think they're going to get a result here. North Melbourne will get killed and I think Gold Coast will do well, but I think Carlton will get a much needed victory. Geelong. Both these teams are out of form currently speaking, but I think Geelong and Cardinia Park will want to get the job done. Let's not talk about Richmond right now. Hawthorn against the... And I'm going like off my picks, but also generally like what's the chance the team's going to win. Now this is going to be a funny one, but Hawthorn play really well against Brisbane, so I do think the Hawthorn Football Club are going to get a result. Yep, St Kilda are going to win that. Adelaide will win that pretty comfortably. I think Port Adelaide, there's going to be upsets, so every now and then I'm going to just predict an upset, and this is the upset. Carlton find form and they win that game. Collingwood dominate the Dogs. Hawthorn, I think... Jeez! This is a hard one. I'm going to go with a Hawthorn victory there. Adelaide are going to slump down even further. I think West Coast beat the Saints. The Saints stink. Geelong, how far can I go? 89 points? Sure. Melbourne against Fremantle. I think Melbourne win that pretty comfortably. I think Gold Coast actually beat Essendon. I feel like they play pretty well. Essendon can't keep this form up, surely. Adelaide killed the Richmond Tigers. I'm pretty harsh on my team right now. I think Brisbane win. I just think they beat the Dogs. The quality is there. For Hawthorn against the Giants will need to bounce back, so they will be expected to win that. This is a big game, and I do think West Coast win that. I think St Kilda do beat Gold Coast, if I'm being honest with myself. And I think the SCG, the Swans will get the job done. This is a massive game here. This is probably something that's going to really shape the top 8. It's a great rivalry. It's going to be a close game. And I'm going to be a bit of a dickhead and go with a draw here. For Collingwood, Melbourne, I'm going to go with the Collingwood victory. They always play well against Melbourne. For Brisbane, they're going to beat St Kilda. Actually, they're going to beat them very comfortably. The Dogs, I think, will beat Fremantle. They're too strong. Richmond, I think, do we win this game? Probably not. I do think Adelaide will get a result, a weird result here and then. I think against Sydney, that'll make sense. North Melbourne, let's go with Collingwood there, let's be real. I think the Giants will be too strong for Port Adelaide. And I think at the G, I think Carlton are going to get back into form. At Adelaide Oval, you would think Port Adelaide just get the job done there. Let's do that a little bit closer. This is a massive game. Sydney won the first one, so I think Giants will win this one. Melbourne, I think, kill North Melbourne. And I think the Bombers get a nice casual victory there. I think Fremantle get the job done against the Gold Coast Football Club. And I think here the Lions will make easy work of the Melbourne Football Club. Shock result, North Melbourne are going to beat the West Coast Eagles, which means Richmond are dead last. For Sydney against Fremantle, that's a Sydney victory. I think this will be a great game, but I just back the Pies in. They're a brilliant team. I think Geelong win this really comfortably, and Essendon might start to slump off towards the end of the season. For Adelaide, they've got a tough game here, and I think they'll win it. For the Saints, they've got a pretty tough game here, and I think they're going to lose it. I think Port Adelaide are too strong. Richmond against Carlton, Richmond lose. Hawks against Eagles, I actually think Hawthorn are going to win that game. I think the Hawthorn Football Club are going to start to find a lot of form towards the latter end of the season. This will be a great game, it'll be close, but I still think Collingwood are just going to get up there. Gold Coast probably win this game. Port Adelaide win that game. I think Geelong win that game. This is a massive game, but you got to back the Giants at home against Carlton. Fremantle win that game, and I think Melbourne win that game. This will be a really fun one. You just had to back Sydney. I think they'll start to taper off, but you got to back the Swannies in. The Lions will win that. And I think Collingwood will win that pretty comfortably. I think Fremantle will get an upset victory against Hawthorn and stop the run, but not by a lot. Yep, we'll go Sydney there. This will be an interesting one. This is a really interesting game. The Dogs just produce weird results. I think Melbourne pretty comfortably over Essendon, and I think Adelaide will get the job done over the St Kilda Football Club. Port Adelaide, I think, are not going to win this game, and I'm going to go with a Gold Coast victory. Richmond will not win that game. I think the Lions win that game as well. I think Essendon will win this game relatively comfortably. The Giants win that comfortably. Let's go with just a St Kilda victory. And a bit of an upset here, but I think the Hawks are going to win that game. I back the Hawks in. Geelong win that. Port Adelaide dominate Richmond. This is going to be a really interesting game, but I'm still going to back the Lions at home. I think Sydney are going to start losing a bit more and a bit more as the season goes on. Battle of defences here, but you would think that Melbourne will be too strong. Oh. Fuck it. We're going to back Fremantle in. I've done it. Carlton will absolutely kill North Melbourne. Carlton will just beat Port Adelaide. Geelong killing North Melbourne there. We're going to go with a upset here and Brisbane win that, which is Brisbane make it into the 8. Actually, you know what? Brisbane won at home. Geelong going to win at home. Sorry, Brisbane. I think St Kilda are going to win this game. Sorry, Essendon fans. I think the Giants are going to do an upset and they're going to really cement themselves down here. I think Fremantle win that game pretty comfortably, and I think Collingwood dominate Richmond. The Swans, I think they're going to get a result just against the Doggies, and here Adelaide will win. Here I think Melbourne are just... I back Melbourne in. You got to back the D's in there. The West Coast Eagles, I think, get a great result against Gold Coast, and I think Richmond finally win a game. I don't think we're going to come dead last, so that's the game we're going to win. Geelong pretty comfortably there. This will be a great game, but we're going to go with a Carlton upset victory. Port Adelaide at home, I think, will just be enough. The Giants will beat Hawthorn. I think the Donnies will just get that done. I think the Lions will be too strong for St Kilda. And then I think this is the penultimate game. And I think this is where you see Collingwood break into Collingwood form. Sorry, Sydney, but the Pies are just too good. This is also, I think, going to be a really interesting game, but you've just got to back the Lions at the Gabba. North Melbourne, I think, will not win this game, and it'll just be West Coast. Fremantle, I think, will be too strong for Geelong, actually, and Fremantle might break into the 8. I think the Dons get a pretty good result there, which break into the 8. I think Melbourne win this pretty comfortably, and I think Carlton win that really comfortably. This is a great game. I think Richmond, by the time this is up, they'll have some decent plays back, and we're going to do an upset against St Kilda. For Adelaide, I think they'll beat the Dogs. For Essendon, I think they'll actually beat Sydney. I feel like Sydney are going to have a form slump. Actually, you know what? Sorry, Essendon will have a form slump too. This is a close game, but I think Melbourne, it's getting towards the end of the season. Melbourne will be needing to win that game. The Giants will beat Freo easily. I think Collingwood are just too strong. They're too strong for Brisbane. This will be a great game. I do see St Kilda getting a result, but if this is to make finals, you would think Geelong win comfortably. This is going to be a great game, but Port Adelaide at home, I think, will get the job done. This is a domination, and this is a domination too. The Eagles against Carlton. This could be a fantastic game, but we'll just go with the Blues there. Easy victory, a big victory for the Brisbane Lions. I think Carlton get over the line very well. I think Geelong dominate here. I think Hawthorn get a victory. Once again, Collingwood are great, and that's why I'm going to back them. They're always good against the Ds, so they're going to win that, which takes them to the top of the ladder. Round 24, I think we get a result against Gold Coast for some weird reason. Don't ask me why. In fact, that's not realistic. Let's have Gold Coast winning. You dominate there. You won. but I do think the Giants will be aiming for top 4. In fact, they need the percentage there. Let's make that a bit closer. Ooh, this is so hard. This could decide everything. Everything. Port will be too good, man. Holy shit, that's the ladder then. That is the ladder. Wow. Okay, so apparently the ladder is Sydney, Collingwood, Carlton, Geelong. Why am I so bullish on Carlton, which is really interesting? They might have just an easy run. I'm not so sure. The Giants miss out on percentage. But, wow, okay, so Carlton and Collingwood on the same amount of points. Geelong and GWS are on the same amount of points. Okay, I do think it makes sense. I think the Giants could probably go in for Geelong, but let's stick with this. If I had to guess the finals, and I'm going to scroll down here. If I had to guess the finals, it would be a Sydney victory, it would be a Giants victory, it would be a Melbourne upset, and it would be a Collingwood victory. I think Carlton get the job done over the D's again, and I think the Giants get the job done over Geelong. I think Collingwood will win that, Carlton win that, and Carlton win the grand final, apparently. But anyway, that's the 8. I hope you enjoyed the video. Apologies to Essendon, who just missed out on the 8. And as for Fremantle, you just miss out as well. Apparently I have Brisbane firing back in there. And as for the bottom 4 battle, well, Hawthorn escaped the hood. In fact, Hawthorn are super close to the Adelaide Football Club. I think that's fair. And St Kilda below West Coast is hilarious. That's the end. Much love.